Hello, I'm Mary Valanides, and I'm going to share with you the second grade for 6 weeks mathematics curriculum preview. The big ideas for this 6 weeks is to finish our 2-digit subtraction, begin our 3-digit addition and subtraction, talk about collections of coins and what their total value would be, and then we'll begin multiplication and division concepts. Here's what the scope and sequence looks like for this time. And I really want you to notice that last fourth 6 weeks, the fourth 6 weeks will be where all these SCs need to be mastered, except for division, 2.6b. So we're going to finish Unit 4, covering 2.4b, adding up to 4 2-digit numbers, subtracting 2-digit numbers, using mental strategies, algorithms, based on knowledge of place value and properties of operations. So you can see that TEA has provided us with an example of what this could look like by breaking apart numbers into their place value positions. 2.4c says to solve one-step and multi-step word problems involving addition and subtraction within 1,000, and again using a variety of strategies. Here's another example of breaking apart 3-digit numbers, or addends in this case, to get the sum. Now, strategies to model subtraction, one of the things you can use is UPS check. Notice that this is a problem from your lesson in Module 9, Lesson 4. It's the number 3 hot problem. Shelby had 32 rocks. She finds 33 more rocks at the park and gives 28 rocks to George. How many rocks does she have now? So the kids might think, I need to find. This is a multi-step problem, and one way to do this with diagrams is to first build your addition of 32 plus 33 equals 65, and then have your strip diagram with your 28 that you have to give away. So then we are subtracting. So this is what it could possibly look like. And with this particular problem, we could use UPS check. I need to find how many rocks Shelby has after she gives some rocks to George. So that's your I need to find statement. And then our plan is to use a strip diagram, and then we estimate it. We have 32 and 33, and that's about 70. And we subtract 28, which is about 30. So our answer should be around 40. So then the kids actually solve, and then they check back to make sure that they have an answer, which is 37, which is close to 40. Now, we're going to review regrouping with addition based on place value. There is a PowerPoint available to you in Eduphoria that shows what I'm going to share with you now, and it's animated. The items actually move. In this format, when I'm videotaping, I cannot show you with animation. So here we have 15 plus 23, and you notice we have 15 in our graphic, and we have 1 set of 10s and 5 1s. We then add to this 23, which we're adding 2 sets of 10s and 3 more. So now we can see that our answer, or our sum, would be 3 10s and 8 1s. We have written 23 over here. There's nothing to regroup, so we're not showing anything in that beige area. Our sum is 38. But what if we have 24 plus 36, where we might need to regroup? Well, here we have 2 10s and 4 1s. To that we add 3 10s and 6 1s. Notice now our 1 section is completely full, so now it will move over. With your PowerPoint, this actually is animated, and it does move, so that you can see that this set of new 10s becomes the same as the set of 10s above your tens place, giving us the sum of 60. It's the same as 6 10s and 0 1s, or 60 plus 0, giving us the sum of 60. But what if we have a problem such as 24 plus 38, where after we add our 8 to our 4, we now have some extra left over that don't fit in this column anymore of 1s. So we have 4 plus 8 is 12, as we can see here. We put our 2 and we carry our 10. So therefore, 10 from this will have to move and go over to our 10s, our 10 section, our hundreds in this case. So we'll have it move over, and this is animated on your PowerPoint, showing you that the sum will now be 62. Regrouping with subtraction works basically the same way, only in a reverse. We have 128, and we subtract 34 from it. Notice that when we do that, we're going to have to take that 100 and break it apart and have to find our difference. Now, properties of operations that we need to cover are commutative property of addition, identity property of addition, and the associative property of addition. When we subtract, the most common misconception is when the kids have 3 and 7, and the top number is smaller than the number that we're subtracting from it. So if we say 3, the kids will say 3 minus 7. It's actually 30 minus 70. So in this case, we'll have to change or rename our 600 into 500 plus 100, giving 100 to the 3, being 30. So we'll have 130 minus 70. So just be aware that the most common mistake with subtraction is usually if the kids can't subtract 7 from 3, they're going to subtract 3 from 7. So they're going to say 3 minus 7 equals 4. Subtraction also can be based on number lines. Here we have 243, and we're subtracting 87 from it. So this is one way, by adding all of these, to get the answer of 156. So we start with 87, we add 3 to come to a friendly number of 90, and then we can have multiples of 10 or 100, and then we'll go up to 243. And we just add the yellow numbers to get our sum of 156. When we subtract, we can also start from the larger number and work backwards by subtracting 10 and then subtracting 6. We can also use base 10 blocks and pictorial models with this SE. And notice here's an example of using base 10 blocks and one of using the pictorial models, where the square represents the hundreds block, the straight line represents the rod, and the little circles represent the units for ones. There's also a video available to you if you would like to see about regrouping. Then we'll start subtraction based using algorithms. There is a video on how to do this, as well as some resources that are available to you. Next, you'll be teaching 2.4D. Notice here where the kids need to generate and solve problem situations for a given mathematical number sentence. So here the kids will be given a number sentence, and they will have to give the problem that would go with it. Here they use addition and subtraction, and it has to stay within 1,000. So if they have 532 minus 139, for example, they can say there are 500, they can write this. There are 532 pieces of art at the show, 319 pieces of art are paintings. How many pieces of art are not paintings? So this is just one example of what they can do when given just a problem that they have to solve by giving you a problem situation. Then we'll be looking at money for 5 days, and 2.5a says to determine the value of a collection of coins up to $1. Now in first grade they did the same thing, only they did not count quarters. In second grade we do add quarters to this collection. Also, we include the dollar sign and the decimal point. First graders know how to use the cent symbol. So we have now the dollar sign and decimal point as well. Just be aware that the dollar sign or the cent symbol cannot go with the decimal, because when you do that, you describe a portion of only 1 penny. So here's an example. 3 cents is written as 3 cents, or with the dollar sign and the decimal point. But if you have the decimal point and the cent sign, this would mean that you would have 3/100th of 1 cent. So make sure the kids don't do that common miscommunication or misconcept. Now here are the resources that you have available in Eduphoria. And then from there we'll start introducing multiplication and division concepts for our last 5 days of this 6 weeks. So 2.6a is about multiplication and 2.6b is about division. And here's where you'll model, create, and describe. And notice that here we're going to do everything conceptually. So we're going to show multiplication as joining and division as separating into equal sets or equivalent sets. So here's an example of how you can use repeated addition. You can use set models, you can use arrays, or an area model to help you understand multiplication. Remember that 4 times 3 is read as 4 groups of 3. And notice that an area model is not shown in Texas Go Math, so please make sure you introduce that model as well to the kids. It's also in your unit overview. Division, we can have 12 divided by 4, and this is the division sign is read as separated into. So 12 is separated into 4 groups. So if we take 12 and we separate it into 4 groups, notice that we have 4 groups with 3 in each set. There are some resources available to you in Eduphoria about multiplication and division, as well as on your pacing guide. And of course, MegaMath videos. Use UPS Check. It's in Eduphoria. We have under yearly content documents, then district instructional resources, and then UPSC. You're going to see these new resources I've made for you. There's student interview cards, which you can make with just a ring, putting them on them, and then the kids can interview each other with questions about their problem. Then there's reminder questions that the kids can look over just to remind themselves of questions they should be asking themselves. This could be taped onto the desk or put in their math journal. And also there are scripts available for you as a teacher to read over, to get an idea of what kinds of questions to ask when you're using UPS Check with the kids. The best of all, though, is that we have videos of B. Luchin modeling UPS Check with our students. So 3rd grade at Major Cheney, she used a graphic with those students. And then at 4th grade with O.H. Stowe, she didn't have any graphics. She used multiplication with those students. So please check out those UPS Check resources that are currently available to you. Vocabulary, here we have in blue the words that you'll need to review that the kids have learned either this past year or during this current year. And then you'll see on the right some new vocabulary terms that you'll need to teach them. Here are 2 activities you can do with your kids. One is word wall sort, where the kids can sort the words into different concepts, and word wall snap, where the kids line up into 2 lines. The teacher gives the kids the definition of a word, and the kids need to look at the word wall to tell the teacher what the definition would be. The first student that has the right word then goes to the back of the line and stays with the kids, but the one that doesn't might want to stay in the front to continue, or will go to their desk and sit down. Here is just a quick overview of what the 6 weeks are going to look like, and you can use this to help you plan. Notice we have 2 days that the kids will be on holiday, and therefore we have 28 days to 6 weeks, and one of those days are for the middle of the year universal screener. Have a great 6 weeks. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you for listening to this video. Have a good day.